All right, welcome. Good morning, folks. Today is Tuesday, April 19th. Welcome to First Things First, Simply Cyber's daily morning cybersecurity threat briefing. I'm your host, Gerald Auger, and over the next 30 minutes, I'll be delivering the top cybersecurity news of the day and providing expert analysis, or at least I think it's expert analysis, on each of these stories. What it means to you as a practitioner, or if you're looking to break into the industry, you can get value out of this broadcast. Also, I might add, the people in chat are awesome. Definitely say hi. It's a great community here. Shout out and thanks to this stream's sponsor, Barricade Cyber Solutions. Listen, cyber criminals have stolen your company's data and derailed your business operations. Barricade Cyber Solutions will help you resolve this ransomware attack and get your business back on track. Definitely want to call Eric Taylor and the gang over at Barricade Cyber Solutions if you are dealing with a nasty bit of a ransomware or just a cyber attack. I do want to remind everybody, if you hold professional certifications like CISP, CISM, etc., First Things First is good for CPEs, continuing professional education, right? So it's a half a CPE per episode, 2.5 a week, 10 a month. So 2 months of First Things First, you bang out your CPEs for the year for most certifications, and it's a good time in here, so I would go for it. If you're live, I see you guys queuing up in chat. Love it. Thanks for being here. If you're watching on replay, thanks for catching the stream. Drop a comment. I do go back and read them, and just really enjoy having all of you be part of the Simply Cyber community. So if you're watching on replay and you want to jump straight to the news and enough of this pleasantries, just scrub the timer to the right until that clock in the corner gets to 0, and that's when we're going to get started. But for the next 2 minutes and 16 seconds, I will be welcoming people into chat. So welcome, Nathan, Josh. I saw Kimberly in there, Cybersecurity Central representing. Hey, cracking me up. It's been a minute. How's everyone doing today? I hope you guys are well. It is Tuesday, final week of teaching at the Citadel. We will be adopting an 8 a.m. Monday through Friday schedule starting in the next week. Hey, good morning, Christopher Word. Good to see you. BSEC, always nice. Speaking of BSEC, that reminds me I should get my mod chat up. Mod chat is now up. Awesome. Thank you. What's up, Gail? Good to see you. Hey, Paul on LinkedIn. Tom, Zachar, Denver. Denver's a cool city. I have had an opportunity to travel to Denver for work. Went downtown. Great museums down there. Obviously, a very walkable downtown. A lot of good beer places, too, if you are into beer. Hey, Dylan. What's up, David? Casey, I see you. CFC. College of Charleston, perhaps, Casey? If that's the case, good on you. Good people over there at College of Charleston. Hey, Ross White. Start the GRC course? Yes. Yeah, you're going to enjoy it. I really have heard mostly pleasant things, a couple constructive feedbacks, which I appreciate. I also, for those of you who may or may not know, the HIPAA assessment workbook that I use in the risk audit lab, a risk assessment lab, I actually spoke with them yesterday. The people who generated that, they're talking with their lawyers just to make sure if I need some type of copyright or limited use license, that'll get sorted out and we will be good to go. Hey, Mark Lester, hope you're well. Carrie, thanks for the kind words on the GRC course. Hey, Zanette, good morning. Good morning. Joe O'Brien, I hope you are here more often and I hope you get value out of it. This is, I would argue, is a good time in here. Absolutely good time. We got the new live stream schedule, guys. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. starting next week. I got the First Things First, then expert interviews, which is Simply Cyber Live. Thursday at 4:30, we're having Rob Lee of Dragos on. And then Friday is the new show that I've been messing around with, for What's on Your Radar, which I genuinely enjoy. Yes. All right, guys. So check it out. Timer has hit 0. If you want to play along, go to cisoseries.com. cisoseries.com. David Spark and his gang, they put this PowerPoint, this podcast together, which allows us to piggyback and do this show. So it's a good time. Sit back, relax, and let's get into the news.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
It's Tuesday, April 19th, 2022. Catalan leaders targeted by NSO spyware. According to security researchers at Citizen Lab, dozens of pro-independence Catalan officials, including the past 4 presidents of the Spanish region, have been targeted by NSO Group's Pegasus spyware. Journalists, members of parliament, and activists in the region were among a total of 63 targeted using Pegasus. While Citizen Lab did not attribute the spyware to a specific government entity, it notes that Spain is a reported government client of NSO Group. NSO Group maintains its software is only used by government clients against terrorists and criminals, and that the Citizen Lab report was based on vague and incomplete information.
Okay. Couple interesting things here. One, guys, it's like NSO Group spyware, the Pegasus, it's everywhere. What's interesting is we recently read that there was an update that would essentially nerf or patch the vulnerability that the Pegasus software was in fact infecting. So this story, while it's come out and it's interesting, is from 2000. The attacks appear to have been between 2017 and 2019, the year of the failed bid for Catalan regional independence. So you could see why this software is being realized, right? We're talking about control and power of a nation, right? At the nation state level. So espionage happens at these levels. It's bananas, but just know that these type of spyware exist. So the case study exists that you can have these no-click, complete compromise listening devices, but they're really reserved for nation state threat level actors, like government leaders, these type of things, investigative journalisms. Unfortunately, it can be used to quiet oppressors. So we do have to be careful with that. But like I said, this is from 2017. The stories are just coming out now. We'll see if anything has to come of that. The important thing is that 65 individuals were targeted, 63 were infected with Pegasus. So, NSO Group was probably making money hand over fist selling this piece of software, which, by the way, is supposed to be for law enforcement only. But, the lines get quite gray when the color of the money is green, right? So, anyways, interesting story. It's interesting. That's it. Can't really operationalize it for me.
Researchers share a deep dive into PISA ransomware operations. The Swiss security company ProDAFT completed an 18-month-long analysis of the ransomware organization, sharing its findings in a new report. This found the organization ran a 5-stage software development cycle since August 2020. This showed the malware creators focusing on features to increase overall workflow efficiency, like a user-friendly full-text search engine to run on extracted metadata. The researchers found PISA supported by competent developers using modern operational development paradigms and suggesting a professional environment. The organization used Dockerized containers and 31.47 terabytes of S3 cloud storage for encrypted files. PISA was estimated to be the third most prevalent ransomware strain in Q4 2021, hitting 747 victims and receiving payments on about 58% of victims.
All right. So this is interesting and not surprising, guys. In 2022, hackers aren't, teenage punks. Cyber criminals are not lone wolf operators who are fringe to society and they don't have any other options. This right here is clearly showing that the PISA group, I would assume that they have either computer science degrees or they've been formally trained in software development, because really anyone can learn to program and you can be a software developer, but software engineering, actually coordinating the way that you develop software, the way you work with other developers in a team, kind of divide and conquer, project management styles like Sprint and Agile versus waterfall techniques and stuff like that. There's pros and cons to all of them. This group, it sounds like they were being run by a technical PM. They had sprint plans where they were introducing new software, new features, new functionality based on demand of the customer base. Now, whether or not they were doing ransomware as a service wasn't clear to me. It does say that they were into double extortion. So they sell you your key back and they sell the data that they exfiltrated before they encrypted all your data. For me, this is a good one to bookmark and just be like, listen, threat actors are advanced and sophisticated. And if you think that they're just like punks doing 1980s New York style criminal gang behavior with leather jackets and baseball bats with nails in it, you're sadly mistaken. These are advanced. They are quite capable. And if you don't practice basic cyber hygiene, you will get compromised, right? You can't guarantee that you won't get compromised, but you can certainly elevate the obstacle and the impediments that these threat actors have to overcome to get you.
Security teams feeling the talent shortage. According to the State of Pen Testing report from Cobalt, 82% of cybersecurity and software development teams are either experiencing a talent shortage currently in their organization or have felt the impacts of a shortage within the past 6 months. Of those not in that group, 11% expected to deal with the talent shortage challenge in the future, meaning about 7% of respondents were feeling just fine. 90% of those with a talent shortage report struggling with workload management, things like consistently monitoring for vulnerabilities, responding to security incidents, and maintaining high security standards.
Okay. So I always say, like, trust or look into the source of the report. Now, Cobalt is a pen testing as a service kind of gig economy type company. So you can be a pen tester like an Uber driver. That's what Cobalt does. So them reporting on the state of pen testing. So when they say 83% of cybersecurity teams affected, it makes me wonder if the scope and limitations of this particular study are offensive security professionals only, which is a different vibe and a different animal altogether because of the way that offensive security practitioners operate, and that you typically don't have dedicated OffSec people on your staff unless you're in financial services and you're one of the big banks. So I'm sure that you're reading this and getting super frustrated, though. For those of you looking to break in, you're like, how is there 83% of teams experiencing talent shortages? I'm right here. Hire me. So this is one of the big things that's frustrating in our industry. Again, this report I do think is probably accurate. They interviewed 600 or they surveyed 602 professionals, which is a decent data set to pull from. I would love to see what the questions were and how they're defining affected by talent shortage. But just know, guys, that we're in a golden age. There's a lot of opportunity for education and development. People like Joe Hudson, our cybersecurity recruiter, pushing the envelope as far as businesses understanding that they can't have unicorn job postings and expect to get unicorns every time. Again, you can't have a CISP for an entry-level job, et cetera, et cetera. So this is fairly true, incredibly infuriating, and hopefully signs of things coming down the road of opening up opportunities for people.
Gizmodo starts publishing the Facebook papers. The site began publishing the leaked documents obtained from Meta by whistleblower Frances Haugen. These documents were previously only directly available to Congress and some media outlets. Gizmodo published 28 documents in this initial batch, which were reviewed and redacted by legal and academic partners to minimize overall potential harms and impacts to Meta employee privacy. The initial batch of documents deals with how Meta responded to election misinformation and the aftermath of the January 6th riots.
Okay.
And now a word from our...
So I don't know what to make of this. All right. So I don't know if you guys saw like the 60 Minutes piece or something like that, but this woman named Frances Haugen, she was part of the Facebook civic integrity team, which was supposed to be responsible for making sure that Facebook content and Facebook ecosystem was kept, healthy and like a good area of discourse versus being able to buy ads and disinformation and getting people all in like ramped up to do the insurrection on January 6th and all that. She came forward with a big cache of internal documents outlining what her position was and the things that Meta was doing in order to, in fact, be more capitalistic and less, civic integrity. These papers have come out. I guess the key takeaway is the papers are out. So for me personally, I will wait 2 weeks and then have some researcher post like the golden nuggets from these papers, because I don't have time to read 1,300 papers or documents. And if someone in chat does, good on you. I certainly look forward to your research and your findings. But it's interesting. I'd rather read the Conti papers, honestly, before I read the Facebook papers. I have a pretty good bead on what Facebook's all about. So, there it is.
Sponsor vote. Quantum encryption goes the distance. The practicality of quantum computing raises a lot of concerns from cryptography developed for conventional computers. But quantum-based encryption holds a lot of potential. A new paper in the journal Nature shows that researchers from Tsinghua University set a new distance record for quantum secure direct communication over fiber, transmitting data 64 miles at a rate of 0.54 bits per second. The team broke their own record, previously set at just 11 miles. This approach uses quantum entanglement to secure networks, which would theoretically make eavesdropping on communications immediately obvious, as measuring the property of one entangled particle would instantly change the other as well.
Okay. This is cool. So, this is research, so it's an indicator of things to come, not practical or, ready for prime time. But basically, researchers, I think they're in China. Yeah, researchers in Beijing. They have successfully communicated across a network transmission encrypted data using quantum encryption, essentially, right? And the idea here is that once you can send data fast enough to be reasonable for today's speeds and standards, and maybe you only want to use this for really, really secret communications. What they're saying here is it's not whether or not you get access to the private key or the certificate and you can eavesdrop on the communication, or even worse, affect the integrity of it, right? So attack at dawn gets changed to attack at 2 p.m. and then you're able to get in there and take out the adversary because they got their pants around their ankles because they're thinking they're attacking it too. So what's really interesting is they said that you can tell immediately that it's been compromised because just the way the quantum entanglement works, which I have no idea what that means. I need a shirt that says I don't get quantum entanglement. But the point is that we're getting closer and closer to a purely unbreakable and very obviously manipulated communication mechanism for security. So that's cool, right? If we could do this, we want to encrypt all of the things in transit, and this might be a way to do it once it becomes practical for, they said 0.54 bits a second, which I think they kind of mentioned in the article might be enough to send a text message or whatever, but distance is a problem and speed is a problem, but they'll get there.
FBI warns of reverse instant payment scams. According to a new alert from the FBI, a new phishing scheme targets users of digital payment apps sending fake texts posing as legitimate banks. These messages ask a victim to verify they initiated a transfer. Responding to the message can lead to a call from the scammer posing as a fraud department representative, displaying a spoof number that matches up to the bank. Using already obtained leaked data on the victim, the scammer will walk people through reversing the supposed instant transfer by transferring money back to themselves. Instead, this will, of course, just transfer funds to the attacker.
God dang. All right, so scumbags. Guys, this is just another clever manipulation of the attack on, end users to trick them into getting money. They pretend to be from the fraud department of your bank, and they get you by saying, hey, there's been fraudulent activity on your bank. Did you do that? No. Well, now you're scared and you want to do whatever it is. And they'll call you and they spoof the number. Again, a couple things here. First off, definitely educate your end users and your family, frankly. I plan on telling my aunts and uncles this about this particular scam, especially as tax season. We're right in the heart of tax season. A lot of people filed for extensions, right? There's going to be this type of fraudulent activity and people will fall for it. The phone number is going to look right. So tell them A, that this attack is going on. Tell them B, when you are, contacted with this type of activity, don't receive the phone call from them. You call your own bank using the phone number on the back of your card, or you log into your bank account website and look up the 800 number. I know it's more inconvenient, but at least for a fact that you're actually contacting the real financial institution. The absolute best you could do is actually physically go to the bank and talk to them, but that's a big lift and asking quite a lot. The only reason I say physically going is because we covered a story a couple weeks ago where there's an Android-based malware that will basically sit in between your phone, like phone call, and basically hang up your phone and dial the threat actors and make it look like you're calling the bank. So that's a relatively recent attack that's not seeing a lot of widespread use, but just to make people aware. Final thing with this. Share this with your end users and your family. Make them aware. I don't want anyone in this community to be impacted, or anybody that they care about impacted by this scummy scam.
Stablecoin collapses after hack. We've covered the record-breaking hack on the Ronin network bridge used by the game Axie Infinity. Now, another crypto project has been hit with a high-stakes hack, with the security firm PeckShield reporting that the Ethereum-based stablecoin protocol Beanstalk Arms lost $182 million from a recent attack. Beanstalk did not back up its stablecoin with cash reserves, claiming it had no venture funding, and instead financed through financial incentives for protocol participants, which loaned the platform tokens while receiving a yield. The hackers used a flash loan to buy enough voting power to push through a change that effectively let them steal from Beanstalk. Beanstalk's coin had been pegged to $1 US, but currently trades at around 15 cents after the attack.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm afraid to play my audio sound effects and torpedo my audio right now, so I'm not going to do it. But just imagine I played the crypto. I love it. I love it. I love it. Guys, like, I don't want to say another day, another robbery, but like, we just saw the Axie and Ronin attack, which was a Lazarus group now being attributed to North Korea, took that out. $182 million. Guys, I watched a special last night on YouTube, CoffeeZilla. If you guys watch CoffeeZilla, he just did one on a coin called Safe Moon. Really interesting, like, documentary YouTube video. I suggest you check it out. It will definitely tell you how these developers and these crypto project people basically set something up to rob you, or rug pull you is the term they use. So it's unknown. It says hackers stole $182 million. You know, I might not put this in the realm of unrealistic that the project owners did this as well, right? I'm not saying they did. I have no evidence to support it one way or the other, but we're seeing it quite a bit in this market of people getting all this money and then basically taking it. So not convinced that this is not the work of hackers, but if it is, you know, maybe we find out that this was Lazarus Group also. $182 million is quite a bit of money to steal. So I'm sure if you are a holder of this stable coin, whatever it's called, Beanstalk project, you know, obviously you just lost your assets in this attack. So there's no FDIC, there's no stability, there's no assurance. Your money is not guaranteed. So everything in the crypto space, as far as I'm concerned, is a speculative gamble.
Now that you're done with cybersecurity,
all right, let's do this. All right. So that's going to do it for First Things First today. Just a reminder, guys, this Thursday, Rob Lee from Dragos, he's like the industrial control system security expert. Someone sent me a link. He was interviewed on 60 Minutes. Pretty cool stuff. He's going to come in. I want to talk to him about industrial control system security in the 2022. Maybe get into a little Russia-Ukraine attacks, but more like, we're seeing this report of 83% shortage talent gap. Like, how do people get into ICS? Is that even an area, since they need so much help? How can we get into that area, right? So that's something I want to talk about. Obviously, First Things First, we do every Friday. So that's going to be a good time. I mean, every single day of the week. Tomorrow it'll be 8 a.m. Thursday it'll be 10 a.m. Our final 10 a.m. until the fall semester spins up. Guys, it's 10:24, so we got a couple extra minutes. I was kind of sedated today, a little low on the energy scale, not ultra spicy. Maybe I'll try my sound effect now. Yeah. All right. So the spicy still works. We still got it. Guys, thanks so much for being here. Toby, Justin Gold. I see you. Jess Bishop. Good to see you. Nathan Spastic. Always nice. Guys, thanks for making First Things First just an awesome experience. And yeah, I look forward to it. So tomorrow we'll be here at 8 a.m. Have a great rest of your Tuesday and be good to each other. We'll see you.